You said yesterday that this administration has put in more protections and evidentiary standards than the Bush administration had for this type of surveillance, but that it's also engaged in a much larger and wider scope of surveillance. Would you agree with both statements?
Well, I would point you to the agencies that undertake these efforts. I'm not sure I could make that qualitative assessment. I would simply say that. I'm sorry?
You have about one element of what he said, which is the safeguards and evidentiary standards that the administration has put in.
But again, I'm not going to comment on programs and you know the scope of efforts that we undertake to combat terrorists or extremists with any specificity. What I can tell you is that the programs are judged by the President and by his national security team to be necessary and effective. They are also accorded oversight by all three branches of government, as is appropriate. And it is also the case that these programs and the general principle about finding the balance between our security interests and our need and desire for privacy is something that we should constantly engage in.
You said the President is comfortable having this debate, but it's obvious the debate would not be happening unless there had been a leak.
Well, I would point you to the speech the President gave prior to the leaks, where he's
You read it too, and it had nothing to do with this. It didn't discuss the
actually,
specificity.
Major, I would refer you to the speech. There was a section on this.
No, it didn't discuss these specific
methods.
He
talks specific. Well, you're saying that he didn't leak classified information. I agree with that, but
the President's comfortable with this debate. It's a debate that is now happening because somebody leaked information.
Well,
correct?
That's. I think I just said earlier that the President doesn't obviously welcome this way that this debate has been. The President gave a nearly an hour-long speech in which he talked about a variety of approaches to counterterrorism, and he talked, he talked specifically about surveillance programs and finding the balance between.
Subject to interpretations that this administration has carried out under those various sections, interpretations that are largely
with oversight by the judiciary and Congress,
viewable by the public, generally speaking.
Well,
right?
Again, I think that the question you asked is how were we, would we have had this debate? And I would point you to the fact that the President gave a speech calling for this debate several weeks ago prior to these leaks.